Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at making food, but mostly we're poor at making art. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Benj. So today, we're drawing favorite foods.
Our favorite foods. You've been asking.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to do some telling.
Every time we check our emails, there's a new one saying, hey, we know your favorite animals, we know your favorite colors, we know your second favorite Pokemon.
We did our favorite movie franchise.
Yeah.
But we have never told you, in drawing form at least, our favorite food. Because you know there's going to be that one really dedicated fan that's like, well, actually, in episode 16, you did mention during the drawing in a roundabout way that your favorite food was. And we'll be like,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I don't want to say we never said it.
Our super dedicated fans
Yeah.
might know already.
I hear they're starting a wiki page about the two of us.
Oh.
Two Poor Artists wiki. Wouldn't that be a thing?
Like a whole wiki just for us, or like a single Wikipedia page about us?
Both. Like a Wikipedia page about the Two Poor Artists, YouTube sensations.
Mm-hmm. And then a separate Two Poor Artists wiki.
Yeah, it has like all of our drawings
the lore and the Christmas stories.
There's like about it, how we know Santa, and our time spent interviewing Mr. Scrooge. And,
who we found out wasn't the real Mr. Scrooge.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the wiki, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But today it's time to give the people what they want, and sometimes what you want isn't what you should have. We're here to prove that true.
Yeah,
you're not gonna understand what we're about to do. No one understands what we do. No one gets us, except for a couple people. They seem to get us, and then when they get us, we're like, wait, how did they get us? Because we don't even get us.
Like we just say things. That's what most people need to understand.
What an honest moment this is. You know what else we're going to be honest about? Our favorite food.
Yeah. See,
Benj apparently is a cannibal. Cannibal Benj, eating his fellow humans. Nose first, he always says. Nose first.
Yeah.
When you eat of your brethren.
I personally think that there is more than one perfect food on this planet.
Oh no, now it's like a little kid with the pinwheel hat. You're like the creepy clown from It that eats children.
I don't...
Is that what happens in It? What is that? He's like a fencing helmet hat.
No, it's just a weird hat. Like, this guy has a weird hat.
Okay. So either you like eating people with...
eating
What is that? Why are his eyes hairy?
He has hair over his eyes.
Wouldn't it be creepy if someone had hair growing out of their eyes? Like, is that like a thing? I feel like I've heard that that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like someone gets like a single hair growing out of their eye or something weird.
I don't want to find out if that's a thing.
Pluck it.
Like, sometimes you say things and like later I go and look it up.
You're right. I shouldn't encourage that.
I won't.
That level of curiosity.
I won't look this up.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Don't tell me what you find. Because I'm sure you're right. There's so many weird things that happen to people. I just don't want to hear about it.
All right. I'll make sure I only tell the fans.
Okay. I'll cover my ears. I was going to draw this guy like my normal skinny guy people, but he needs to have a belly to him because he's eating one of the perfect foods. And you don't just get out of that without having a belly.
I shouldn't look up stuff.
Yeah.
Well, why does your guy have a belly?
Well, because he's eating some of the perfect foods.
Benj, you need to draw food quick so we can get off of this whole cannibal thing. So right now, I feel like you're just like drooling over there.
He has suspenders on.
Yeah, well, if you have that hat, you automatically have to have suspenders. Isn't that the rule?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you have that hat, you automatically have to have suspenders. Isn't that the rule? Yeah, well, if you have that hat, you automatically have to have suspenders. Isn't that the rule? Pinwheel hat and suspenders. Although it is weird because normally you see a pinwheel hat on a grown. No, I'm sorry, on a child.
Mm-hmm.
This is clearly a grown man,
Yeah.
but he never outgrew his pinwheel hat.
And he has his fork ready.
What's so
fork.
wrong with his face? Why does he look like a who?
And he has a striped fork. Like, you know how they have, like, sometimes those two stripes right there?
It's not the stripes on the fork. Just had to line up with the line on the pants.
Yeah, of course not.
No, it's the striped fork. We all had one at one point in our lives. Oh, it's a shame, really, about his hand, though. It's a real shame that he has that, like, chicken wing hand. We haven't talked about the hand mangler in a while. I mean, not that his work hasn't been present in every drawing we've done lately, but sometimes he just is cruel. Most people are left with, like, something missing from a hand. This guy, I do not know how he's holding that fork. Magnets, probably magnets in his wrist bone. What do they call that? Your tibia, fibia, Libya? No, that's a country. Oh, it's a table. Oh, what is this? A pregnant table?
It's perfectly balanced.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
Just to prove it, here is it's one of those levels.
Oh god! He just keeps it on the table like it's a permanent fixture on the table to prove that his table is level.
Yeah, see the bubbles right in the middle.
I don't know what weird perspective we're looking at the table on.
And people come in and they're like, "Why is your table so lumpy?" And he's just like, "Look right there."
See
level.
If you and I
on the
became
table.
two poor carpenters, that's the kind of tables we'd have
We
to
would
make.
like make a level that fits to the table.
Yeah, like
So
it would clearly not
like
be a straight table.
See, the table's clearly not straight, but the level is also
Yeah,
clearly not.
It always shows the dot or the bubble in the middle, though.
Yeah.
So when people are like, "I don't know if this table you made," we'd be like, "Look at the pre-installed level.
Yeah,
Their plates and forks,
built
and
in.
pens are like rolling off the
In fact,
table." But
I'm gonna
how can they
add-
complain?
Like this level is actually like legitimately built into the table.
Oh my gosh, that's like what a viewing. Oh man, that made it worse. It's like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down.
It's it's perfectly straight line.
Okay.
This guy also has a bow tie.
It occurs to me now that if this is your favorite food you're drawing, is this you?
No,
Or just like,
well,
oh.
see, my favorite food. I actually have two favorite foods, I'd say, because they're the two foods that I consider to be perfect foods. And since I consider them to be perfect foods, that means that everyone enjoys them equally.
Oh yeah, because that's definitely how our
Yeah.
tastes work.
So this doesn't have to be me. This could be literally anyone.
Uh-huh.
And he's got another arm.
Another arm. That's good. You know, I can't help but notice that his bow tie is just one of those bow ties that it only looks straight when you're looking at him from the side. I'm not even it means he's wearing it on the side of his neck.
He actually has two bow ties.
Oh, like one on each side,
Yeah.
but none on the front.
Yeah.
What's wrong with him? Why does his face look like it's missing something desperately? It's like he needs an ear or something. Like there's too much something different about him. And I'm not just talking about that little thorn he has coming out of his top lip.
I don't know.
This drawing has so much going for it that's wrong, and you haven't even gotten to whatever you're... What the heck is that? He's going to cut himself with it. The way you drew it, that knife is facing him.
It's not a knife.
Oh,
That is a corn dog.
of course it is.
I'll brown it for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That just looks like you put ketchup on it.
Okay, as long as you don't think it's mustard, because mustard does not belong on corn
It doesn't
dogs.
belong on really anything.
No.
Like, there's nothing.
Like if you're handed a corn dog, one of the two perfect foods.
Yes.
And you put mustard on it,
One of the worst foods.
oh, it's disgraceful.
It is. I've never understood the people who like yellow mustard.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, it hurts to eat. Like,
Right.
it burns. You know? Like, you get just like a tiny bit of it on your pinky finger and put it on your tongue. Like, you feel like you're going to cry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so bitter. It's basically just like you may as well just be putting vinegar.
Yeah. But there's
On
people
your
who do
food.
that too. They're called the British.
Yeah, the British are wrong.
Yeah. You know how we know the British is wrong? Watch anything ever made. They talk about the British and their food being wrong as they're like shoving vinegary pickles dipped in mustard down their throat. You're like, what's the matter with you? You accept that British food is horrible because it's like bitter and vinegary, and yet people are like, but it's okay. You're not meant to enjoy all food. You know?
Yeah, I think at some point the British made it illegal to have spices
Which is weird because they conquered like the whole world in
yeah.
search of them.
and got all the spices, and then they're like, but you can't eat any of them.
Yeah, like what a weird thing that is. It's probably like the royal family. They probably have like a huge like basement warehouse that goes underneath like a large portion of the country that's just filled with every spice they ever got from every country they ever conquered. But they're like, we only us can dine upon the spices of our heritage, or I don't know what the British people say. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just like that.
I'm just curious. Did this guy have like a bunch of bow ties and they fell off into this bowl of rice?
No, see, the other perfect food, and like I don't really know how to show
Perfection.
what this is. I could like, draw like a block of like cheese here,
Oh.
and it's I don't know.
So
floating.
this is like bow tie
This is macaroni and cheese,
with
but
bow tie
noodles instead of macaroni
Yeah,
noodles.
because we've talked outside of the internet world,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube they call it, about how much bow tie pasta is just the best.
Yeah,
Bow tie pasta is the best shape of pasta, according to the two poor artists.
yeah.
If you make bow tie pasta and you'd like us to endorse you, or you'd like us to draw your new box art,
Mm-hmm.
you can reach us at twopoorartists@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's probably what our email is.
I think it is.
See, I think that different noodles go good with different sauces.
I think that's kind of why they make different noodles.
Yeah, because it's like the thinner noodles makes it so you have a bigger sauce to noodle ratio.
Yes.
And then some noodles, like macaroni, can hold like cheese inside of it, like because it has holes and stuff. So different noodles are good for different things. But bow tie are, I mean, one, they just look cool.
They're
very fancy.
bow ties are cool.
And then two, they're very in the middle. Like they can hold a lot of sauce because of their like shapes and the grooves and stuff. But also, if you are going for a low sauce, they're fairly thick pasta.
see,
so
it's true.
Has
I don't
the pros
like
of everything.
I don't like too much sauce on my pasta typically. If it's meat sauce, maybe a little bit more because there's more
Yeah.
meat.
Or if you're having like a chili or something,
Yeah, like
where like the sauce itself would be good.
Yeah, but exactly. If you could eat the sauce by itself, that's different.
Yeah.
But just like straight tomato sauce or straight, like sometimes it's just swimming in it, and that's too, you lose the pasta. I I don't mind just eating bow tie pasta with just butter and Parmesan cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Like you taste the pasta and you get
Yep,
like
it's
that.
so good. Like the noodles itself are good.
Yep, it's true. Are you like a pasta purist? Do you need to like make your own pasta, or can you just like buy the cheapest stuff at the store?
See, the thing is, I've never had a noodle that was bad.
See, I'm right there with you.
Like, I mean, I'm sure it's possible. Like if you get some sort of like weird, like my sister has to eat gluten free, so
Let's all take a moment of silence for his sister. Hang on. All right, we can continue.
So I've had multiple gluten-free pastas,
Yes.
and they're usually not as good, but they're still pretty good, especially like some of them, like the rice noodles and
yeah,
stuff.
it's like every time you eat a pasta and you're like, there's something wrong with it, but it's still pasta.
Yeah,
And
and
then you get other gluten-free things and you eat it and you're like, it's just falling apart in my mouth.
and that like some noodles actually are perfectly fine, because like if you have Asian noodles, like some of those are rice noodles,
Yeah.
and they don't like that. Those are good.
I don't know how. Yeah, like seriously, the Italian gluten-free pasta makers need to take notes from the Asian world of
yeah.
rice noodles, because they can do it right without it falling apart and you sinking into a deep noodle-related depression.
Yeah, because like there's good noodles from across the board.
It's true.
And like some people, are like, oh, you gotta have them fresh or whatever, and maybe that would be better. But in my opinion, it's not like bread. Like the difference of fresh bread to not fresh bread
Drastic.
is just like, why are you even eating not fresh bread?
Because fresh bread, there's something about stale bread, like some curse from the Lord falls upon it, and it just turns into, it's not even the same food anymore. You're like, it looks the same.
Yeah.
It kind of smells the same, but then you take a bite and you're like, why is it dry? You
Right.
put like a gallon of butter on it and you're like, it's still dry. Like there's nothing about it that makes sense.
Yeah. Whereas like pasta, even if you're making it yourself, you dry it out
Exactly.
and then you boil it again.
Yes.
Like that's the
It
proper
starts
way.
as dry ingredients, and you add like an egg and a little bit of water,
Yeah. So and then you dry it
and
out.
then you dry it.
and then
and then you wet it.
you boil it. Like you may as well just buy it from the store, because it's
Yes.
gonna taste the same, and it's gonna be cheaper
It's
and
also
easier,
going to save you 2.5 afternoons
Yeah.
of pasta prep.
and it'll probably be cheaper
It will
actually,
be significantly like
because
seriously.
they like buy all the ingredients in bulk. and
Go
make it,
down
like-
to your local Fry's, or for those of you on the wrong side of the country, Kroger, and just wait until they put it on sale for 99 cents or whatever they do. Buy up a month or three's worth of pasta. Every 3 months or so, they seem to have a pasta sale.
Yeah.
And you store it in your pantry next to
It
your
never-
spices,
it
because
never
you're
goes
not
bad.
British.
Like, I mean, I'm sure it eventually goes bad, but I mean, if you
how-
have pasta in your house long enough for it to go bad,
You're not eating
feel-
enough pasta.
I feel so sorry for you.
It's true. I will say something about your drawing now. That's not just a slice of pepperoni pizza next to it, right?
No, that's cheese. I was just trying to show that there's cheese involved.
Oh, I'll also say this about your drawing, which is what I was going to say originally, but then I couldn't remember why there was pizza floating nearby. I've seen Benj eat pasta. This is not an exaggeration on a portion size. Like you don't want to take Benj to an all-you-can-eat pasta place, because then that pasta place will have seen its last day. Like they will have gone bankrupt due to the amount of pasta consumed by one man.
Yeah, there's always room for more pasta.
It's true. Like if there was like every other food at a whole buffet, I feel like all you would eat is pasta.
Yeah, of course. Unless there's also corn dogs.
Yeah.
And if they're good corn dogs. Like corn dogs are one of those things where there's good corn dogs and there's not
There's
so good
really
corn
bad
dogs.
corn dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for a long time growing up, I thought I didn't like corn dogs. And I think it's because I had like a bad freezer burned,
Right, yeah.
like,
Because like you get like corn dogs, they stay in the freezer for a long time. Plus they're like low quality hot dog with
Yes.
like not that good batter.
exactly right. But you get like a good, fresh, deep fried corn dog.
Oh man, it's
There's
just
few foods.
It's like I said, it's one of the two perfect foods.
It is, and like it's all on a stick. You know how many more foods there should be on a stick?
Yeah,
Like hot
It's so
dogs
nice.
are the best stick
Like
food.
if you go to like a fair or something and you get a hot dog, like I don't even like, I like ketchup on my corn dogs, but if it's a well-made corn dog, you don't need to put
you
anything.
almost don't need anything.
Like you can just walk around the fair with your dry corn dog,
it's true.
but you bite into it, and I say dry, but it's like juicy on the inside.
It's
And,
true. If you ever get a dry
like-
corn dog, you haven't tried a corn dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like also ketchup packets were made for corn dogs. Because you open up the little corner of it with your teeth, and then you
Yeah,
can't
it's
open it,
the
so you give
only
it to your
thing-
friend, and they have to open it even though you've already had it in your mouth. And then it's like you squeeze a little bit on each bite as you're walking around the fair.
Yeah, corn dogs are like the only thing that those small packets are actually convenient
exactly. Because what else do you do? Of normal, in eating anything else, you have to open like 25 of them and squeeze them out individually.
Yeah.
This is the only food that makes sense to like walk around.
Because you just want a little bit on it and then a bite.
Because you can't put a lot of ketchup on a corn dog. Like with this guy right here is like an amateur.
Yeah, I've never understood. They always like show that in movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and first of all, it's mustard because they're horrible people.
They're sinners, Ben.
But then they like put it all along the side, and you're like, that's just going to be on your hand.
I know, like it's going to drip
5
down.
minutes.
It's going to drip. It's going to be on your shoes, and because it's mustard, yellow mustard, there's nothing in nature that is like no mustard is that color.
Right.
The amount of dye that's in straight yellow mustard
it's like
will never come out of your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It won't. Ketchup will stay in it for a day, but it will wash out.
Mm-hmm. And if it gets on your hand, you can wash it off.
Imagine if like ketchup came out and it was like the neon color that mustard is, red. People would be like, there's something wrong with this. Like,
did you see that thing going around Facebook of the clear ketchup?
I have.
Like, I mean, obviously it's fake. But
it looks like hand sanitizer.
Like when I first saw that, I'm like, I'm sure this is fake, but I wish it wasn't.
I know.
It would be just
great.
like great to try.
It would be so fun.
Because we had like that purple and green ketchup
I was just gonna
when we were kids.
Yeah, when we were kids, Heinz ketchup released, like they called them crazy. Were they crazy ketchups or something? They were like made for kids, and they were bright purple and bright green.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't know how they did it. I know it wasn't good for you, but
I remember on Dr. Seuss Day, my mom made meatloaf with the green stuff, and we had like green spinach and eggs, or or green ham and eggs, or whatever that whatever we did tried to be like the book.
Yeah, that's one of those classic 90s kids foods that all kids remember that point in their childhood where their parents went out and bought purple and green ketchup, and then it was discontinued. I'm probably guessing because it killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, the fact that it never came back.
Yeah.
Like, even though people still, like, when I saw that clear ketchup thing, everyone in the comments was like, it's better than purple and green or whatever. Exactly. And it's like, people are still talking about purple and green ketchup.
It's part of our history now.
Like, and with how much nostalgia stuff is like coming back.
Yeah, know it was bad.
Yeah, like, because they would have brought it back.
They would have, but
if
they can't.
could.
Like, they've been trying in their lab to come up with an edible version of what they did back in the early 2000s. Haven't been able to do it.
I would sign a waiver and eat it.
I would too. If they just like brought it back and they're like, look, this is what it's gonna do to you.
Like,
you know? Just
to have a corn dog with purple ketchup on it again.
Seriously,
I mean, I've been waiting for that day.
The world is lacking a lot a purple foods. There's like cabbage. People always point to cabbage as if that's something anyone wants to eat.
Yeah.
Outside of England, your dad eats cabbage.
Cabbage. It's one of those things where it's just its only flavor profile is bitter.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like,
I'd ask your dad why he likes it, but he's sleeping over there in the corner today. So I don't know if we should wake him for that.
Yeah. Like, you can have a little bit of bitter in your food and it still be fine. You know, like, I mean, chocolate has a bit of bitterness to it.
A little bit.
And, you know, obviously the darker the chocolate, the more bitter.
Yeah.
And like, but that's fine.
Bitterness is like a good balance for things. Like, I'll admit I've had mustard like in like a potato salad or like a pasta salad where there's like a little bit of it in there.
Right. When I make mac and cheese, I actually put a little bit of mustard in it because it brings out the flavor. Because like, vinegar is meant to bring out the flavor of other things.
It's not meant to be the flavor.
Yeah. Once it's the flavor,
something has gone wrong in your life.
Entered England, and and you need to get out of there.
True. But you know what they won't have in England? Either of your favorite dishes.
Yeah.
They would laugh and scoff at the corn dog because, you know, the fancy Brits
they
and
would be looking at
cakes.
this guy and be like, that's the only type of guy that would eat this food.
Yeah.
But see, I look at this guy and I'm like, this is my hero.
Yeah. You know what kind of pasta they eat in Britain? They don't. Name one British pasta dish. You can't. You can't. No. And if you start naming something that comes from Italy, even that's not good. We've talked about this before, but like, people are like, well, technically sausages came from, you know, Germany. And it's like, yeah, but they were like stomach and liver meat inside it. It's like, no one on earth wants a true German sausage. And then people are like, yeah, well, pasta comes from Italy. And you're like, yeah, with like fish eyeballs in it and like, something nasty, olive oil and capers. And you're like, what the heck?
America took all these foods and said, why don't we make them good?
Yeah, let's make them edible. Like take good flavors.
See, the difference of America and England is England's like, hey, we conquered like the whole world and we have every spice available to us.
Let's ignore them all.
Not use any of them. America's like, we didn't conquer any of the world. We let the world come to us, and we took advantage of every spice.
They call us the mixing pot, melting pot, not mixing pot, melting pot, because we take all the flavors of the world and melt them together in our mac and
we're
cheese.
Like, you know what would make this, Italian food better if we took spices from, other places.
Yeah, we added cheese to pasta since it comes from Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
we
took
cheese.
sausages and made them out of the parts of an animal that you want to eat, and then dipped them in corn batter.
Yeah,
and deep fried them.
Yes.
Like what?
Which corn came from America also. So like we do take things like from America.
Yeah, I imagine bow tie pasta is an American thing. Sounds like something someone would scoff at in Europe.
Yeah,
they're like, well, actually, we turned clothing shapes into pasta here, and it turns out it's really good.
Yep. I think one of the most extreme is the improvement of Mexican food.
Yes,
we took the Mexican food and we added a lot of like Asian spices to
flavors to it,
and Italian seasonings and stuff.
See, it's not that food is bad. It's just food is better in America because we are not afraid to make it better.
Yeah.
Other places I feel like are so like, this is our traditional country's food, and we're like, yeah, our traditional country food is everywhere's food.
Yeah.
Like we just take food from everywhere else and make it better and add corn.
Yeah.
Because that's what America does.
We always add corn.
Always add corn. It's just a rule.
It's just how it is.
It's how it works.
But like corn doesn't really have much of a flavor.
It doesn't really or nutritional value. But it's amazing.
We just added to make
it amazing what it does, though. There's something about it. You don't get anything out of it, but makes it better somehow. All right, you should sign this.
Yeah. What are we calling this?
Favorite food?
Favorite food, or like do I call it mac and cheese?
No, just call it favorite food.
Okay.
That way, when it's in the gallery, they'll understand.
Well, they won't know what it is.
Yeah, that's where the interpretation.
Why is that guy holding a knife so close to his face?
Yeah, exactly. Looks like he's cut someone with it. Look at the blood. Why does he have a piece of pasta on his shoulder? And why is he dipping his pepperoni pizza into the bowl of rice? And what the heck is wrong with that table? Oh wait, never mind. It's level.
Yeah, perfectly level. That's all they should be.
Yes, indeed. And now it is my turn to draw as soon as you save that drawing, because we would not want to lose this piece of art history.
No, of course not.
You know how often they talk about like lost pieces of art and how they cry, the art historian. Have you ever seen an art historian cry, Benj?
I have not.
It is not a pretty sight. They get together in big groups and weep as they walk through the alleyways at night holding their half-empty bottles of bourbon, which I'm told is liquor, alcohol. It's the stuff that makes your liver cry out in anguish.
Is it?
I've heard the livers.
How unfortunate.
Sometimes at night you get woken up because there's one of those critics in your alleyway next to your house. Your liver's crying out.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Sometimes it escapes through the mouth of the person that delivers it. But you can tell the difference because it's kind of like, I'm a liver, help.
It's very dumb to explain.
They have to, or else you just get confused. Yeah, but it's not pretty.
Yeah,
it's not pretty. All right, time for my favorite foods. You know, I almost forgot my drawing glove.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't want that.
Take a moment. Let's just take a couple of seconds here to promote drawing gloves. Drawing gloves. They're good for drawing.
Yep.
Make sure you get one.
Especially if you have a tablet.
And if you make drawing gloves and you'd like to manufacture a very long-fingered one for a pinky that would fit a man the size of Benja's hand, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, don't claim one size fits all and then just be wrong about that.
Because there's no way. Like, you need an extra third of a finger for this glove that I'm wearing to fit Benj. It's quite sad.
Yeah.
You should hear his hand cry out in anguish.
The drawing gloves on tablets are quite useful. You don't get like the oils from your hand on the
You know
screen.
how many times I have to squeegee this off after you draw? It's
Yeah,
like your hand just leaks.
just the leaky,
leaky hand.
grease. Well, I mean, it's because I always have a corn dog in it.
Yeah,
but-
it's true. It does. It's dripping down the grease. It's probably cold now. I gotta go warm it up. You ever air fried a corn dog?
Yeah, it's not any better than just like making it in the oven.
See, there are some foods on Earth that are just like people say, like you can bake it in the oven. It's like, yeah, but it was made to be deep fried.
Yeah,
you know,
and
corn dogs
like
are one of those.
An air fryer really is like halfway between.
It is.
But some foods, it just tastes like you baked it in the oven, like a corn dog.
Like a corn dog. If you've never had a corn dog, like we said, get a deep fried corn dog. Because if it's not deep fried, it's just not the best a corn dog can be.
Yeah.
There's certain things like chicken. You can bake chicken in the oven.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one of those things it needs. In fact, I almost like chicken, like breaded chicken baked in the oven more sometimes.
Right.
Because it holds on to a lot of that greasy. And if the oil's not good, then it's not so good. But then some other foods just have to be deep fried. You know.
Yeah, and then some foods can be non-deep fried. You know, just like regular fried or grilled. You know, whatever. Like honestly, a corn dog grilled is actually better than
a grilled corn dog.
Yeah, it's
like,
better than like the oven.
Like on like a like a grill, like outside.
Yeah, you can do it on that or like a frying pan without any oil.
Huh.
I mean, obviously, it's better charcoal or if you're one of those fancy people, you have like the wood chipped grills to add that smoky flavor that you like or whatever.
That's a good point.
I mean, it's different, you know. It should be deep fried. That's the proper.
I see.
So your favorite food is Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man and those little white golf balls that Pac-Man eats.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What do you think Pac-Man's eating? Like, what are those? How many white round foods are there? Like, I would say popcorn, but popcorn's never that round.
It could be like a peeled.
Lychee.
Yeah.
Peeled lychee.
Mm-hmm.
That's today's today's important Two Poor Artists fact is that Pac-Man actually eats peeled lychee.
Yeah.
The only perfectly round, perfectly white food.
Yeah, because like oranges, you peel an orange, it has that white around it, but like it's still more orange than it is white.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's hard to peel an orange to look orange because it's always got that white stuff on it.
Yeah, but it's also you wouldn't call it white either. You'd call it like just a lighter orange. Well,
it's really hard to explain what I'm drawing right now, so I won't.
Okay.
Just know it'll look bad later too.
It looks like it might be a bean or something, like a really big bean. Oh, okay. Well, now there's teeth, but why is there like a black?
It's like the back of the throat.
Yeah, but
I don't
that's
even.
not what a mouth looks like.
I know.
Like, if anything, that's just other teeth or the tongue or something.
This one I'm not even gonna worry about.
Are these your favorite food? Are your favorite foods alive?
In this drawing, they are, but not in real life. I mean, sometimes you get this feeling in your mind, like, what if my food was? But then you just immediately never think about it again because you don't want to.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works. That's how.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not good.
I kind of wish his mouth was the empty spot.
Yeah, I realized also it doesn't really look good over here, but I'm gonna fix that
Okay.
because this guy is a pizza, and these are just pepperonis now.
Okay.
Big.
Real, like they're those big pepperonis that you can get.
Who used
sometimes.
to do big pepperonis? I feel like Papa John's did that for a time.
Mm-hmm.
You could get regular pepperonis, or for like $6 more, you could get big
Yeah.
pepperonis. So
It's
no
just,
one
if
ever
you
did.
want them big, you need them so thin that when you bite the pizza at normal biting strength, it cuts through the pepperonis, and that's hard. Like that doesn't barely exist. Because otherwise, you take one bite, and you end up getting the whole pepperoni, and then the rest of your bites have no pepperoni.
It's true. It's not good.
And cutting the pizza becomes hard when you have giant pepperonis. Oh, that one's crazed.
Yeah, he is. He's like, he's got weird eyes. I don't know. It's not good. How does it mount? Like, I can't just put another circle, can I? Put a square, but that'd look weird. Maybe I'll just put like a little. Oh. A little mouth. It's just like,
See, I kind of thought of the missing piece as like the mouth.
oh, no. Not how it works. Sorry. You didn't know your pizza. This guy, there's a lot of good pizza. There's no
Mhm.
bad pizza that I've ever had. I'm sure if you got pizza in
Yeah.
England.
I mean, you could ruin pizza.
Actually, you know what? I'd like to take back my previous statement. There's no bad pizza that's actually pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what I mean by that is American pizza. Because, you go to Italy, I'm sure you get a pizza and it'd be like a cracker with like some stuff on it. It'd be like, technically it's a pizza. And you'd be like, it's just not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just not. I was in, I visited Tanzania one time. Let me just give you some travel tips real quick. When you're in Tanzania, don't order pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't order a pizza called the something meaty pizza. One in Africa, because it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually wrong. I don't know what animals I consumed that day.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that the animals weren't actually that bad. Whatever sauce they put on it, though, we were in the part of Tanzania that like a lot of Indian people are from.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't beef.
That's less helpful actually for my. Anyway, the problem was the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
The sauce was like it was so spicy,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so not tomatoey. It was like chutney of fire,
Mm-hmm.
chutney of fire sauce, and it hurt.
Right.
It hurt. You were supposed to dip it in, and the crust was like dry, but you were supposed to dip it in it. And the more you didn't want to eat it dry, so you dipped, and then you dipped, and you burned, and then you burned, and you cried, and you're like, wait, this is supposed to be pizza. I think there might have been cheese, but again, you don't want to think about it too much. Like what animal, what udder came out of? It's probably like a goat udder cheese.
Yeah.
And goat meat on top of bread with fire chutney, and they called it pizza.
Right.
But that's
Yeah. When you're not in America, don't get American foods. Because they won't be good.
it's true.
Like I went to Costa Rica and had some of their stuff. And first of all, like their ketchup was like really sweet.
Banana ketchup, is that what it was?
I don't know what kind of ketchup it was, but it was like, I mean, it was supposed to be tomato. It was like they didn't put salt in it or something. But then like their cake wasn't sweet at all. And the corn we had, like we were talking about our corn, how it's practically flavorless. But like we call it sweet corn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you go and get like sweet corn from somewhere else, and it's like the most bitter thing. Like I put so much butter, which was also probably unsalted. It wasn't very good butter. But I put so much butter on that corn to try to make it tolerable, and I couldn't.
That's
And
quite.
like corn here in America, it's something to take for granted. Like it's the nothing thing that's in everything.
It's true.
But man, yeah, people don't know how to copy our food.
This pizza might be wearing footballs on his feet.
Well, I mean, he's clearly crazed.
Yeah, that's true. So it's definitely a football.
Isn't that what everyone does when they go insane?
Let's not look at those shoes anymore.
I don't really want to look anywhere else. What's coming out of the crust of that
Cheese.
pizza?
Okay, so
he's
my
got
favorite-
cheese crust.
My favorite food is sausage. Here, I'll put some little pieces of sausage on here. Sausage and pepperoni pizza. Now you can put other things on pizza.
Yeah, like
like-
mushroom.
No. See? That's English talk. That's English
it's
talk.
not.
They're like,
They don't-
how about we put some globs of dirt? No, England, bad. Spray bottle, spray in the face. No, bad.
Mushrooms are amazing. They
No.
don't taste like dirt. I don't know what
Tastes
kind of mushrooms
like-
you've been having.
Dirt. They all smell like. It's like rotting dirt. If dirt could rot, that's what mushrooms are.
No, mushrooms are great.
No, just back. This is not your favorite food. Stop trying to ruin mine.
You should probably put some mushrooms on there.
I'm gonna put some mushrooms on the crazed one, maybe, because he's
Crazed one would be better tasting.
okay. But that's not the point. There, he has one single mushroom. The point is, cheese stuffed crust makes all pizza better. That's the point.
Okay. I mean, that's
You know? So, if you're going to get a pizza, like other than that one time in Africa,
Mhm.
I've never had pizza I don't like. Like Little Caesars, it's
Mhm.
good pizza.
Oh, yeah.
It's cheap.
That's one of
It's
my
good.
favorites.
It makes you can get a whole meal.
For the price, it's the best.
Yes, 100%. But honestly, like a Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza
Mm-hmm.
is like 19 times the price of Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Like you have to take out a small business loan just
Mhm.
to, order stuffed crust.
Yeah.
But there's something about it. Even Papa John's stuffed crust is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Papa John's is not my favorite pizza. I know it's
Right.
yours. You like Papa
It's
John's.
definitely on towards the top of my
Yeah.
list for sure. Because they have the best mushrooms.
Oh, see, I wouldn't know. 'Cause I'm
Like-
a good person.
Like when it comes to mushrooms, they have to be like there are good and bad mushrooms. Like there's a lot of different mushrooms in this world, and there's fresh mushrooms and not fresh mushrooms. Yeah, I mean there's a big difference between a good mushroom and a bad mushroom. I mean literally, bad mushrooms kill you, and good mushrooms taste great. So
See,
better
I've never-
toppings, better pizza, Papa John's.
Gosh. Yeah, I've never known a sausage to kill you.
Hmm?
Except I haven't had a traditional German sausage. There's probably one or two. Anyway, pizza is so good. Even other pizzas eat pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine a society that didn't have pizza? Like, what would happen at birthday parties? What would
Yeah, I don't know.
you wouldn't eat?
Pizza is so good because like you go to Little Caesars
Yeah.
and you pick up like 10 pizzas and that's like $60
Mm-hmm.
and you can feed 20 people and have leftovers.
What's a good name for a pizza person? You know?
Pete.
Pete. Pete the pizza. Also, Pete's like a bad guy name,
Mm-hmm.
because like Mickey Mouse.
Yep. And
Pete.
Peter Parker.
No, that's no.
Yeah, because you add the R, that makes it a hero.
Yeah, it's ours make the hero.
Yep.
Do you put the little top and bottom on your eyes?
Only if it's capitalized.
But you don't like your natural writing font isn't the kind that makes it look like a lowercase L. I hate it when people do that.
Yeah,
think
if it's a capitalized I, it has to have the lines.
Thank you. See,
Or
I'm
else
very
it's
particular
not.
about having my name start with it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you meet people all the time that are like, nope.
So otherwise, it's just a line. Like how do you know it's not just the lowercase L or a line?
It's true. See, the thing with pizza is you can have so many different kinds of pizza. Like pepperoni and sausage is definitely my favorite pizza.
Mhm.
And no, I don't prefer meat lovers because I don't think that ham's like a Canadian thing, you
Mhm.
know? Like they call it bacon up there because
Yeah.
they're just in denial.
And sometimes it's instead of ham, it's bacon.
Yeah, but even
And
bacon,
even that, like when you already have sausage and pepperoni, I don't think bacon makes it taste better. In my
I
opinion.
don't think so. No, see, that's the
Like-
thing. It's too much.
Yeah,
It's too much.
like like people will disagree with us, obviously,
of course.
and they'll be
'cause they
like,
can
"How
be
dare
wrong.
you think there's too much meat?"
Exactly.
But like, you can have too much meat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like meat lovers. It's not bad,
Mhm.
but it's just too much. You
Yeah.
can't focus on any one meat.
Mhm.
And the bacon normally takes over.
Yeah, and it takes away from the pizza. Like if you just want to eat a plate of meat, go ahead and eat a plate of meat.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you don't want to overpower
Yeah.
the cheese and the sauce. Like there's a balance.
There's a balance.
that
yeah.
makes it a good.
If you're going to
pizza.
put more than 2 toppings on a pizza,
Mhm.
they have to be vegetables.
Yeah.
Also, like 2 meats and some
Mhm.
like onions and
Yeah.
peppers or something,
And
you know,
if-
like
and-
that.
If you're not Isaac and you really want to add a third savory thing, it's mushrooms.
Mushrooms taste like dirt.
They're savory though, and they're not
Savory dirt.
they're not overpowering like a meat
Yeah,
would
the
be.
point is, you can add a bunch of toppings like a supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Olives, I don't think
Yeah.
belong on pizzas. I like black olives. I'm one of the few people I know that truly enjoy eating just straight black olives.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll put them on sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think they just like should ever be cooked. I think they're meant to be served cold.
Yeah, I'm actually the opposite. I'd rather them be cooked because I
Really?
think that gets rid of some of the bitterness
See, I think it
of their
adds a
flavor.
weird flavor to them.
Well, no, it adds a weird texture. It makes them more rubbery, and you're a texture person.
I definitely do not.
But it takes away some of the bitterness that they
Yeah.
naturally have.
Mhm.
But either way, they don't improve the pizza. I don't think they ruin it, but they definitely don't improve it. One thing that I will say about pizza also, if you're one of those people that are eating cauliflower pizza for whatever reason,
We'll pray for you.
only eat vegetarian cauliflower pizza. Because when you put meat on cauliflower crust, it's weird. That's all I'm gonna say. It's weird.
I
Like fruit, like vegetables, like veggie pizza on cauliflower pizza crust. It's like kind of like refreshing. Like it's better than a salad, but it's practically a salad. But once you put meat on it, it's like you don't put meat in your salad. It's weird.
People do.
I mean, maybe
Weird.
like a chicken. Like chicken could be okay,
Yes.
maybe, but it has to be like flavorless chicken. I don't.
Yeah.
Like salads aren't supposed to be good tasting.
Nope, they're not. Pizzas are on the
Like
other hand.
stop. Like don't even try.
See, I don't know if for some unfortunate reason I could just never eat crust again.
Mm-hmm.
This is depressing to even think of it. Maybe I'd go to cauliflower crust.
Yeah, like cauliflower crust with vegetarian pizza is actually not that bad
Hmm.
when you're comparing it to salads and the
Yeah.
such.
Yeah. This is depressing. Let's think about sausage and pepperoni again and stuffed crust.
Mm-hmm. Stuff.
You know, crust was the #1 way you knew you had a friend who was rich.
Mm-hmm.
It still is.
Yeah, because no one.
You
can
and I never
afford-
get it.
Yeah, you can't afford that.
Yeah. But if like you go to someone's house and they have like their parents are like, it's stuffed crust. You're like,
Mhm.
didn't realize you guys had a Ferrari, but you
Yeah.
must somewhere. You know, like
Hidden in the back.
yeah, because like who's ordering? Like, because you always have that sad moment when you're ordering
Mhm.
pizza. You're like, man, stuffed crust is the best.
Yeah.
But is
it's
it
like-
really worth?
It's like $3 or $4
Yeah,
extra
Like,
dollars.
I could get a whole
You're like-
lot of pizza from Little Caesars for the
And it's
price
like,
of that
you're
cheese.
You're not gonna do that.
Like,
Yeah. Like you get it like once to try it or
yeah,
something.
I'm never gonna let my kids try it one day.
Mhm. Because they'll be disappointed the rest
Yeah,
of their
because
life.
they'll never know.
Yeah, but then they're gonna go to their friend's house,
Yeah, I
the
know.
rich friend, and
I
then they're
know.
gonna
And then they'll-
know.
They'll learn we're poor. We're poor artists.
Yeah.
If you don't want my kids to have to not eat stuffed crust, share this video, subscribe. Let us. I don't ask for much. I don't have to be ridiculously wealthy, although I am fully convinced one day we will
Mhm.
once our art takes off and someone
Yeah.
gives us a hotel. But I just want to get to the level of wealth that's just the stuffed crust level.
Yeah, stuffed
It's the
crust.
next tier
Mhm.
above,
middle.
it's like
middle.
you're like poor, which is where we're at.
Yeah.
Then you're like, what do they call it when you're not poor? You're
like middle class or whatever.
yeah, like middle.
Yeah.
And then there's like a small little step up from middle
Right.
where you have stuffed crust.
Right,
It's
yeah.
the stuffed crust tier.
Mm-hmm. And then there's high class.
There's high class. Yeah. High class people ruin pizza. They put stuff like caviar and
Yeah,
gold on it, and you're like,
like-
you've forgotten
Yeah.
the stuffed crust tier.
You forgot. You
Yeah.
forgot why
They're like,
you
well, we
got
stuffed-
rich in the first
We
place.
stuffed it with an eel, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the heck is that?
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. Bad.
Yeah.
You cut into it, and it's like an eel in the crust, and you're like, where? Who?
Mhm.
What? Ugh.
Little Caesars tried to do some weird things with their crust.
Was it eel?
No, they had the hot dog
Oh,
like
yeah.
crust, and like it's okay, but it's not. It's like just don't get it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not better.
No.
And they did like their pretzel crust, and
Mhm.
again, that was also just like it's not better.
When the pizza people got together long ago and were like, what's the best thing on earth we could put in the crust?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, well, why don't we just put more cheese in the crust? They
Yeah.
they knew.
Yeah.
No one starts off with like the worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
No one's like,
Yeah.
let's put an eel in the crust and do it. And they're like, I think we can do better. They always are like, what's the best thing we
Yeah.
could do?
Yep. And it was cheese.
It was cheese.
And it's always cheese.
It's always
it will
cheese.
always
it will
be
always
cheese.
be cheese.
Yeah.
Papa
I-
John's
I
had
could-
a pepperoni cheese
Yeah,
stuffed
and I
crust
can
one time,
understand that because
but you don't need that.
yeah, because that's like I like pepperoni rolls,
Yes,
which are kind of like pizza.
there's like there's like bread rolled up with
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just different
Pepperoni.
bread. It's like croissant bread instead of, but I mean, people make it different breads. But like, I don't know. It's like the crust. See, like I like to dip my crust if possible
Mhm.
into like garlic sauce, and it's like you need it to still be crusty to do that. You also need it to be. You need to be able to hold the crust because that's like how you hold the pizza.
Yeah, it's true.
So like when you go too much on this crust and you practically turn the crust into just a second pizza attached to your pizza,
It's true.
it's too much.
I saw one that was like half the pizza was like a calzone
Mm-hmm.
and then half of it was a regular pizza. You're trying too hard. Calzones are good. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. They're just a pizza without sauce.
Right.
Like, what's wrong about that? You dip it.
And
It's not as good.
Yeah.
It's more complicated. Sometimes you got to get a fork and a knife deal. If you're
Mhm.
one of those people that eats pizza with a fork and the knife, unless it's deep dish, just do the world a favor.
Yeah.
Do it in private.
I mean, I can
No one wants to
understand
see that.
if you go to like a place where you get like a really big, like New York style pizza,
Okay, maybe.
and the first couple bites,
yeah, because like you can't
you
pick
like-
it up.
yeah,
Like, it
'cause you like-
sags
you
into
like-
your lap.
you're like holding it with like two
Yeah,
hands, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
still
Okay, I
like,
think
not-
I've probably
not
done
enough.
But you know
Yeah.
the people who like they get like a Little Caesars pizza
Mhm.
and they get out a
Yeah.
fork and knife.
And it's like
and
you can
they're the
easily
kind of
hold that
people-
in one hand.
they're the kind of people who carry around like a cloth napkin
Yeah.
and tuck it into their shirt when they
Mhm.
eat. And you're like, what?
Like
Where did you come from?
the whole
England.
The whole reason that you eat pizza,
Yeah.
I mean, other than it being great, is that you don't even need a plate.
No, you
Like
don't.
like you're at a party, you can just be like holding a slice of pizza
Mm.
in your hand, eating it while talking, while walking around, and then instead of putting it down, you just finish it.
Exactly. You eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Has a place as a handle with
Yeah,
the
there's
crust.
no- like exactly. It's the problem with most food is at least there's like a bowl or a utensil. This is
Mhm.
just it's perfection.
Yeah. Yeah, pizza, like I don't like personally like pizza as much as corn dogs and mac and cheese. It is a perfect food.
It is.
Like the reason that it's
mac
hard to
and
say
cheese.
that.
Mac and cheese is one of the perfect foods. too.
Yeah.
Corn dogs. I like corn dogs, but there's so many bad corn dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
And that's my problem with pizza, with the perfect food, is like everyone likes their pizza a different way. You know, like when you're at the party and there's all the people that got there early and you're like, what kind of pizza should we get? Everyone says something different.
Uh-huh.
Like that's kind of annoying.
We've settled on like cheese and pepperoni as an American society.
Right.
But everyone
like,
agrees those aren't the
neither of
best.
those are my favorite.
No. No. I'd rather have sausage than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you'd rather have mushroom, but we
Yeah.
can get you help. The point is, pizza is a perfect food. But if I had to pick, just to narrow this down and close out for today, my perfect food is a stuffed crust, pepperoni and sausage pizza from Pizza Hut.
Mhm.
Like, it's like if I splurged,
Mhm.
like sometimes my wife will go out of town
Mhm.
and I'm like, I'm going to order one.
Right.
I don't order it when she's here because then I have to share.
Mhm.
I'll be honest with you, and I know that's wrong. I'll order one for us one time.
What
but
I've noticed, and I don't know if
it's like I didn't eat lunch today. I can afford stuffed crust. You know.
I don't know if you agree or if you've noticed. What I've noticed is that if you get at Pizza Hut, if you get a full-size pizza, it tastes worse than their personal pan.
Oh, I've never really noticed that.
Because I think the way they cook the personal pan or something is different, or maybe they use different crust. But definitely, like, I don't know, the personal pan, like it's like now that we're adults, it's like too small.
Yeah,
but it tastes better.
Yeah,
you should.
Next time my wife goes out of town,
you should like order one of each and compare.
That'd be a good comparison. It's wonderful when you can compare pizzas because neither of them are gonna be bad.
Yeah.
One's just gonna be better.
And then whatever you have left over, you just stick it in the fridge.
By the way, we didn't really comment on this, but I feel like I'm going back and forth in my head about who's saying no Pete. It's just
I think it's the voice in his head
coming from somewhere else.
Yeah,
like he hears it as like an external voice, but it's really just I support Pete in what he's doing. It would be hard to be a pizza surrounded by pizzas all day and not eat them.
You got hit by a truck and woke up isekai into pizza world.
Wearing footballs on your shoes.
As a pizza.
Yeah.
And everyone else is pizza.
I would not be able to stop.
Like, and they're like, we eat salads only.
Oh,
here.
yeah. See?
Like,
but you're like, but literally the whole world. I could be a pizza cannibal and be unashamed.
Okay.
And with that, I feel like this. You know that it's a good video because we have had a lot to say about our favorite food. We've only talked about 3 foods. There's other foods we like. Maybe we'll do more food videos in the future, but this is like one of our longest videos ever. And it's only because we've been talking about how much we like food.
Yeah.
I feel like that says something about us.
I think it's human. Food is such a big important
There's a lot
part.
of passion behind food.
Just look at the Bible. How much is food and like communing together?
This is true.
And feasting together.
This is like some kind of weird mental pizza pasta communion. Where we just got together, enjoyed our friendship in this time with our fans.
Your picture kind of...
There's nothing holy about it.
Yeah.
But
pizza, there's something holy about
There is something holy about pizza. And with that, we will leave you. If you have a favorite food, leave it in the comments. And if you'd like us to draw more food, don't worry. We probably will.
Yep.
See you next time.
Bye.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.